the last 200,000 years, groups of men have banded together as a means of survival and for the purpose of moving civilization forward. Men built great cities, advanced modern technology, and created economic systems that still prevail today. Unfortunately, those advancements in economic stability have created widespread levels of comfort that even the most wealthy kings in history didn't enjoy. With no great purpose or mission, most men today have accepted this comfort and in turn have become soft, weak, feminized versions of their past ancestors. These men are content with spending their days at jobs they dislike, spending time with people they can hardly tolerate, and the most fulfilling thing in their lives is watching their favorite sports teams or getting lost in their favorite video game. The men of the Unplugged Brotherhood demand more from themselves and, more importantly, from each other. Through mentally and physically challenging in-person retreats and events, these men have discovered that growth only happens when you are willing to show up, force yourself out of your comfort zone, and above all, do the work. Don't waste another day squandering your potential to be the man you were meant to be. Reject comfort, let go of people that are holding you back, and seize the opportunity to join a true brotherhood that will challenge you to become the best version of yourself.
And we're back for another ladies' night. Welcome. This is the Canada show tonight, I think, because we have a bunch of girls from Toronto, Canada on today. And we will get into introductions right off the bat. Alona, are you here with us? Awesome. Can you give us your name, age, where you're from, what you do for a living, and your relationship status?
We're starting from me, right?
Yep, Alona.
Every day. My name is Alona. I'm 31 years old, and relationship status, I'm single. What I'm doing, I have my own business. I'm making the proposals and romantic dates for the couples, like organizing weddings, all of this event stuff, but specifically it's a marriage proposal.
Oh, okay. So you organize marriage proposals?
Yeah.
Okay, so you set up a scenario where the guy can propose to the girl and it's all she ever dreamed for.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Because I got be engaged when I be 25, probably, and it's be a worst, it's be worst. He make a proposal like it's terrible. It's horrible. I don't know. I can't find the words, but after this, I understand how much the men need help with that because think they understand what the girls need, but it's not always truth, you know. So I help with this. I help the man to make a woman be happiest. Yeah.
Cool. I want to come back to that. Anastasia, can you give us your intro?
Yep.
Name, age, where you're from, what you do, and relationship status.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasia. I'm 27. I'm originally from Ukraine and live in Toronto right now. My background in education is computer science, and I worked in IT startup for a couple of years. And right now I'm moving into a different industry, into finances as a financial advisor. And I'm also working on my personal project in fashion e-commerce, also learning AI automation, and just that's my area of focus right now. And for relationship, I'm single right now.
I see you got out of computer science right when AI is about to replace your job.
Yeah. I never was interested into coding, but yeah, it's doing much better job.
Cool. Eleonora, you're up.
Hi everyone, my name is Eleonora. I'm 27. I'm from Russia. I live in Toronto about 10 years, I think, right now. So my status, I'm engaged. I'm a dancer, fashion designer, professional model. I have my own entertainment company. I have my own, I'm a co-worker, I'm a partner of the company of 3D printing. What else? I'm a tattoo artist as well. I'm doing tattoos.
When you say dancer, what do you mean by dancing? Just because we've had a lot of girls on this show who have done dancing from like trapeze artist stuff to dancing at the strip club. So
not a strip clubs, but there is like nightclubs and Ultron, like Mr. C, Coast, all those things. And right now I have my own entertainment company for wedding stuff and for all other.
cool. Danny, it's your second time on the show now. You want to give us an intro for people who don't know you?
I'm Danny. I'm 30. I'm from Wisconsin, and I am single, and I am a therapist.
Therapist. What type of therapist?
For abused children. I go in home and help the kids.
That's cool. I like that. Shital, last one. Wrap us up.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheetal. I came to Toronto, I think, 6 years ago. I'm originally from India and I work as a product developer apparel. And currently I'm in a relationship from past 9 years.
9 years. Cool. And sorry, I might have missed it. Your age?
26. I'm 26.
Cool.
Before we get into Alana's business that I think she needs to give that man that had a horrible proposal, I think he needs a cut for giving her the idea for it. Before we get into that, guys watching, you've got until August 1st to get in the SOU. It's $49. And we're raffling off a ticket for Rich's 1% Forum in Toronto. And it's like a $4,000 value. So get in the SOU before August 1st. You got like 3 days. And get your chance at winning that ticket to the Forum. The event will change your life.
Awesome. So, Alana, I want to hear about this horrible marriage proposal that obviously didn't work out and instead set you up with an awesome business.
Okay. Actually, we went to the Thailand, to the Pattaya, and do you know the Thailand have like Phuket, have a beautiful north places like for the travels, but the Pattaya is.
I don't know what this is. No.
Thailand, Pattaya, and Phuket. I'll translate.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you translate for me because I'm lost.
Thank you. We made it together, and in Pattaya, it doesn't matter. It's a party city. It's not for like, it's not a beautiful something. It's about a party. It's about the nightclubs and about all of this stuff. And actually, I know he made the proposal, and this the 2nd of the February because it's a beautiful date, Everyone trusts about the beautiful date, and I was thinking how he made it, and just imagine I was beautiful, like makeup. I'm younger, like much younger than now, and we go into the nightclub, and I was thinking like, really, in Pattaya have a street where on both sides is like drag queens. Drag queen, like
working girls,
lady boys.
Yeah, lady boys.
And both
And
both sides,
they're working, right? They're looking for customers, right?
Yeah. And on both sides, it's a nightclub, strip club, and all of this stuff. And the street, like the woman was selling the flowers. Another one with the monkeys want to take a picture. Like it's not that vibe what I was expecting for the proposal, And we go into the nightclub, and just imagine we have a table. The strip dancer was dancing like maybe 2 meters from us, and he like just take the ring, open it, and take the ring and put into my finger. And I was like, and it's not just 2 of us. Okay, it's 3 of us, me, my boyfriend, and the strip girl, right? But also it's 2 of my friends. And a monkey
on her shoulder too, right?
Yes. Yeah, and the 2 of my friends. And he was asking to my friend to make a video. And after that, he's saying like, oh, you can send this video to your mom. And I, no, I didn't do it. Never. And after this, no flowers, no anything. And we are going out of this strip club. I was drinking cocktails after this because I was, this is a special moment. You wanna spend your life with a girl. You must say some words, but he can't say any words because it's so loud there. And we going out to the street, and he was he was serious. It's not a joke proposal, it's really serious. He was like preparing for this, and we go into the street, and he like, oh, you don't have flowers. And he bought from that woman on the street who's selling like, one flowers by one flowers. I probably in Toronto people do that, right? In the nightclubs they selling like flowers by one. And he bought the all flowers what she had. And I don't want to look like I'm a bad girl, like in that mean, in another mean, like bad girlfriend. But I hate like orange roses. I hate that. I don't love that. He must know this. We together for the 3 years. He must know which flowers what I like, right? And he bought this.
You didn't want to throw them in his face?
No, because we have a like ticket together, we still need to stay in a vacation for the 1 week. I must pretend everything all right until we coming back home, because I'm that woman who was never saying something wrong until we are staying like in the safe place because I'm scared,
We had a girl a few weeks ago who went on a trip to Vegas, and then she said she had to come back home alone on that trip from Vegas because he just wanted to stay and gamble.
Oh.
So see, your proposal could have been worse.
Oh yeah.
Hey, at least you got a guy.
You don't know me, so.
Okay, so you said now you've made a business out of this by like.
Yeah. I started to do this in Kyiv. Yeah, I started to do this in Kyiv. I work with a company, and actually, when I started this, I was finding a lot how men can love and care and know their woman, really. That's showing me how the real love and real care looks like. No, and also it's showing me another side, like we have a customer who was every 3 days, like for the whole week, every 3 days he come into the same date, because we're organizing like a beautiful date, not just a proposal, with a different girl. And all of our dates we have a photographer.
Oh, wait, this guy like hired you to set up the perfect date for him, and then he took multiple women on this perfect date?
Yeah, not 3 girls together. One day with one girl,
1 by 1.
Days. Yeah, 1 by 1. And everybody was saying like, oh my God, so bad, this guy is so bad. But I was thinking, oh my God, this guy can care, beautiful, 3 women. Like he went to the date with a beautiful date with a 3 women. This guy's so
special. He can spread his love to multiple women.
Yeah.
So is that something you'd want, a guy that has 2 other women also?
No. It's not my style. No.
No.
But because somebody was not caring about this. It's not me. I'm not that woman who. I'm that woman. My boyfriend don't know which my favorite flowers, so I'm not that type.
Okay, but what if he knew what your favorite flowers were, but he also knew what Anastasia's favorite flowers were and Eleanor's favorite flowers, and he was seeing all of you?
Like you was thinking, I think this man is one man from the million. It's different type of the man. Every guy who was saying, oh, let's do the open relationship, blah, blah, blah. He can't care about one woman. He can't care about her. He can't really protect her about one. I didn't say about 2 or 3, but this guy can. It's not something what I like, but it's good. Yeah.
So with your proposal business, what's the number one problem that guys have? What's the number one thing that guys mess up with proposals?
Number one, money. Like that doesn't expect how much it costs for the beautiful bouquet. Like they think they can do Elon Musk was coming for
they don't invest enough into it.
Huh?
They don't invest enough into it. They don't pay enough for the proposal.
That's the first things, and another thing, they don't really know what their woman like, which kind of flowers she like, or what kind of proposals she wants. For example, one guy, he wants to make a proposal with 100 people. Everybody saw him how he make this proposal, but for the girl, she don't like this. She likes to have a cottage just for two, just for like quiet place, this. So the problem, this problem, and the second problem, um, it's not enough to have fantasy.
Not enough fantasy.
Yeah, a fantasy.
What kind
Like
of fantasy?
I'm always saying, oh, let's do this way, let's do that way, this way, let's make it special, like not everybody else. No, let's do the heart. Will marry me, and I will do the ring and the CN Tower on the background. Really, on that place, like a three hearts, and it's like a factory, like everybody, like one couple do the proposal, 15 minutes later another couple in the same place do the proposal. No, I don't like that. I like special.
So
Because
how
the
do you
woman is
figure out?
special.
How do you figure out these men's fiancés or gonna be fiancés? How do you figure out her favorite type of flowers for him?
Oh, it's a different. Actually, I give him like task to
You
ask
give him
her
homework?
friends. Yeah, sure. I have in the Google, how to say, как это будет? Анкета в Гугле. Помогите.
Can you
Um,
translate this one?
Survey.
Google.
Survey.
Yeah, it's a Google Doc. This is all the
Yeah,
stuff we
in the
need from
Google
you.
Doc,
This is all
yeah.
the stuff you need to find out from your woman. I'm sure that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's it. And also, it helps a lot. Actually, actually, it helps a lot. Google's right. Yeah, thank you. Everybody helps you. That's why I'm not progressing my English because like honestly.
Eleonora, you're engaged, right?
Yeah.
How was your proposal?
It was 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. No, 3.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Did he mess it up like most guys do, or did
No.
he do it well?
So,
He figured it out, right?
yeah, okay.
Like
so,
he figured it out. So what if you found out that he had to hire someone else to orchestrate it for him?
I don't know. I think all girls kind of inside, they feel that the guy gonna propose. Like the girls, they're feeling.
I'm sorry, I just saying something. You can find girl waiting for this or not about her nails.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if her nails done well, it's fresh, it's beautiful, and it's kind of color for the fitting to the ring, that means the girl is waiting. If you take her for the date because you have a как это, годовщина, like special date, and ask her what?
Anniversary.
What nail color means
Yeah,
that she wants to
anniversary,
be
yeah.
proposed to?
French, probably, like this white color.
Just the good nails. Yeah.
Like a fresh one. Like she takes
Okay.
it's make it 3 days ago. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing both your opinions on this. Now, has anyone else here been proposed to first? Danny has. Okay, Danny, do you want to share anything about how it went for you? Were you like upset with it?
It was fine. He took me to a graveyard and proposed to me on Halloween.
Wait, in a graveyard?
Yeah.
Huh?
That is.
And it was
that
just
sounds
me
like,
and him.
That sounds horrible.
See,
It was like
Alona.
11:30 at night.
This is
Alona,
the
what's
duality,
your
right?
opinion of this?
Sorry.
The expert here.
Halloween night. It's depend what the couple likes, because my friends make a marriage in Halloween style. She wearing the black dress and they enjoying this wedding.
Okay.
It's just about a couple.
Okay.
See, you can have the most, you can do the most, or you can propose to her in a graveyard on Halloween, and like it's still fine, right?
Then
That's
So
fine.
why do the most? Why propose at all?
Chris,
Can I
now
say something just about this?
Go ahead.
Oh, help
About
us.
proposal. Our life is so short. Our life not have enough happiness, in my opinion, because we have a lot of stress, a lot of work, a lot of everything. So why people don't want to make something special for each other? Even not just a proposal, beautiful date to spend together time, to have a new experience together. Okay, making beautiful proposal, because making beautiful wedding, it's just money, right? But you will remember this
Just
because
money.
Okay,
Just
my
money, you'll make more. Spend it all on me.
yeah, that's true. If you can't make any money, you don't need to make any family, you know.
You guys heard
That's
it.
my point.
It's just money.
Okay, I disagree because my guy, he proposed to me. We went on hiking for like we hiking for so long, and I was like, I can't. I want to go home. He's like, no, let's go. I'm like, I don't want. He's like, let's go. I'm
But
begging you. I'm
he
like, I
prepares
want
something for you,
Paris.
right?
Uh-oh.
So when we walk far away, and I was like, I was mad, and I'm like, if you're not gonna go home right now, I'm gonna like cry, sit here and cry, like I don't wanna go. He's like, please, 10 more minutes. And I'm like, okay. So when we walk in the park, and there's a huge, I don't know how, like a rock, large one, and there is a wonderful, like crazy beautiful view. And he were sitting like and proposing to me, and that doesn't cost anything. It's just the cost, the emotions, and the effort that he put in to go there for like I don't know how many, like almost an hour, just to go there specifically to that spot to do that
He
proposal.
prepares something. That's the
Yeah.
point, you
And
know.
to
He was
piss you
making a
off along the way.
plan.
To
You
make you
didn't take
so
my
angry
point.
along the way because you just want to go home.
Yeah.
You don't
Yes.
take my point about money. Mine means about the money. If you don't have a money, you don't need to make a family, because family, child, they need money, a lot of money. So if you don't have money, no need to make a proposal, you know, because the later you need to make a wedding, you want to have a child, and it's about this, you know.
Okay. Now, Chris, I want to get your thoughts on everything the girls have said. Do you think guys are messing up by not showing that they love their girl enough, not investing enough, not going all in on the proposal?
A woman that's really, really into you, like she doesn't even need marriage, right? She'll like whatever you want to do with your life, you know, she's gonna adopt those views, right? So there are some women that you need to do this big extravagant thing for, right? And I think those aren't the women that those guys should be spending their lives with, right? Like if you need this amazing, beautiful, perfect proposal, like maybe the foundation of this is not what it should be.
What do you girls think?
And
of that?
I don't think that any like religious marriage is an interesting topic. I think it's rare that you'd be in a situation where you'd have an actual religious marriage, especially in the West. But like any man that goes to the courthouse, signs into a contract with the state to entangle their lives with a woman, that a woman can break the contract at any time for any reason, and the state decides what happens with your money, that is crazy. Absolutely mental.
I have a question to Danny. Danny,
Go ahead.
did you expect that he gonna propose to you? And did you expect that it's gonna be there?
Help
Like, did
us.
you have that feeling?
No,
You didn't expect that he gonna propose to you.
no. I
Did
didn't
you-
think he had a
yeah?
ring.
Did you say yes?
I did.
Nice. Are you still with him?
No.
Sorry. Never mind. Because he did the bad proposal.
So, okay, now we see we have a like not nice
Oh, help
proposal,
us.
not a fancy one, right?
The
And we
reason it
have
didn't work
another
out is
proposal.
because the proposal was shit.
And we have another proposal, like a fancy one proposal. It's not a guarantee about the couple being happy, right? It's all about the person. But my take and my point about if the life was so short, if the life have a not like enough happiness, and you for example, you go into the restaurant, you can go into the McDonald's and you can go into the fancy restaurant, right? You eat McDonald's and you eat some beautiful, good meat, good steak, right? You feel full after you eating something, right? You feel after McDonald's, you feel full enough, you eat a lot,
Yes, after
and you feel the
McDonald's, you
same.
feel full.
Yeah, and after this, you also after beautiful, good restaurant, you also feel full. But when you enjoy it in a McDonald's or you enjoy it in a good restaurant,
Okay.
right? It's not means you. It doesn't mean you need to go into the restaurant every day, right? But sometimes you want to make some day special. You want to spend more money for enjoying more. It's not about all people. It's about some of people, right? Some type of people who likes to go into the concert. They likes to like travel or their life full of the memories and emotions, you know?
Can I?
Eleonora.
Yes. I think the proposal is not about the money wise, according like to my experience. I think it's supposed to be a romantic moment between both. So, for example, if you met your girl in a McDonald's, and then the proposal in the McDonald's would be the craziest emotions inside. So
Yeah,
both.
it's all about thinking. Most of the guys who was asking me to help them with the proposals, is the point they don't have enough money, time, energy, or fantasy to make it special, and they sometimes not everybody have a like this feelings like they want to make a beautiful proposal, right? But they know their girlfriend, their beautiful girlfriend, she wants to make it this special moment because she loves that. She loves to dress up. She loves to attention. She like that. So it's not have like a right or wrong answers. It's all about the people who wants that.
See,
So,
I
Danny,
think
did you?
men.
Hold
I
on,
think
Danny, did you
men.
meet the guy in a graveyard?
No, well, technically Amazon.
So I want to get into this McDonald's, right? So like you want to be taken to a fancy restaurant instead of McDonald's. Like it makes you happier, right? So I think what men should do if they're
No, I
crazy
didn't
enough to
say
get
that.
so I think what men should do if they're crazy enough to get married, take her to McDonald's, order both of you a double quarter pounder with cheese, break out the ring, and if she'll still marry you, that's a woman worth marrying.
One more time.
Although I think you should. I think you shouldn't get married anyways. McDonald's proposals. We're bringing it back.
You doesn't take my points about McDonald's and about the food, but that's okay. I was thinking it's not about you, it's about my English. That's fine.
Okay, we're gonna continue on here. Here's something that came up recently. Have any of you girls heard about the T app? I assume you've all heard about this.
Heard about what?
The T app.
Yeah, I've heard about it. My friend sent me a link of it that all the girls make tea about the guys that are toxic or weird. I think so.
Are you on this, Sheetal?
Not yet, because I'm not in the dating game, so I thought I don't really need to be there, but I feel like girls should definitely be there because I know there are a lot of other groups in Facebook also where girls share that, oh, there are weird guys outside. You need to be careful of that. I've seen a lot of Facebook pages, and it helps girls a lot, to be honest, so that you don't wind up being in a horrible, horrible date or with a weird man.
The rest of you girls haven't heard about this though?
Is it the app for gossiping, right? The one that got exposed?
yeah. It got hacked recently. So
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
none of you are on it, because if you are, your address, all your information is now on the internet being sold. So
With your picture attached to it.
yes, with your picture attached to it. So hopefully none of you are users on it because your information's out there. But if you haven't heard about it, I'm going to play a short clip here about it, just in case you haven't heard.
The posts on the T app are so fucking funny and honestly really concerning, because a woman will post a white man with face tattoos and grills and like 3 strands of hair on his head and caption it like, warning, this man is a narcissistic abuser. And I'm like, girl, we didn't need the caption to know that. Like, that man literally looks like a demon who was reborn as Golem and crawled his way back to Earth from hell. And I cannot believe that women are actually fucking something like that. Then you have like 15 other women commenting on it saying that they fucked him too. Like, the whole purpose of the app was to expose men, but this is also just exposing the really low standards some women have.
Okay. Why can't I get this off the screen now? There we go. Oh. What do you girls think of the app? Like, the whole idea of it? Since none of you are users, what do you think of the girls who use an app like this?
You're
Alana,
asking
any
about
opinions?
our low woman standards, right?
Well, so she was saying,
I want to hear what Danny thinks about the T app.
Danny's killing herself over there. Let's hear it.
That video was fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. But I think, okay, if you have a man who's bluntly honest, right? Like, you're not going to be the only girl I'm fucking. You're not going to be the only girl I'm seeing. There's no need for it, right? When you get into the mix of like situations where a guy is lying, I guess I could see it as being beneficial to the woman for that. But at the same time, I feel like it's fucking pointless.
I think it can be helpful maybe for younger girls, you know, who maybe didn't deal before with narcissist or something like that.
Like they don't have a father to screen the men for them?
They didn't realize maybe yet
Or they
that
don't want
it's
to listen
coming
to
from
their
their
father's advice?
yeah, or anyone's advice, or didn't experience those abuse on themselves and like to realize where it's coming from. Yeah, maybe for younger girls, maybe it's more helpful.
Oh, I want to add on. I had a co-worker friend whose picture got uploaded in a Facebook group. Not this app, but it was a similar type of app in which,
One of those "Are we dating the same guy?" Facebook groups.
yeah, exactly. And then just for fun, we had another friend, and she showed me all the comments regarding that co-worker, and it was so funny because I agree with a little bit of it. Was like he's narcissist. He's self like he literally is the worst date ever. Because each and every girl, like I think so, 10 or 15 girls commented on that picture. It were like, "Oh, never date him. He's so desperate," and etc. etc. And he was the same type of person at work also. Each and every time a girl would talk to him, he'd just go like so happy and so desperate. And anytime a guy would talk to him, he'd be like, "Oh, bro, chill out. Like, I'm not really interested in talk to you." So I believe that the app is a little bit important, especially in informing girls regarding all the type of men that they are, because I believe at least 15 girls are enough example of how a man can be. Later on, maybe the other girls can learn from their own experiences, or they can decide based on what they have read.
Okay.
I have an unpopular opinion, probably.
Danny, Barrett.
So a lot of it's about guys, right?
Yeah, it's an app primarily. It's for women posting about guys that they're dating.
Well, where's the men's version?
A bunch of guys. I keep seeing videos of this. Guys being like, "Just wait till the men's version comes out." And I heard apparently there is a men's version. It's not nearly as popular. But the only thing going back and forth on that app is just like revenge porn. It's just guys sharing videos and pictures of girls that they dated, just all of their nudes.
Have anyone heard about Boys Locker Room? I don't know if it's popular in Toronto, but it's
No,
a similar type of app. It's in India, but it's darker since there are only guys in it. So they post about girls and how they want to take revenge, of course, but what they want to do with them and all sort of horrible things.
Eleanor or Alona, do either of you have opinions on these apps?
These are
I even don't understand how the people have that much time to do that. But for the girl, it's fine because it's really help to protect us, like from the other men because it's sometimes we need more protection and feel safe. But this woman in the video, she says about, oh, the girl have a so low standards about a man, and a lot of girls slept with that guy, like ugly guy or something like this. I hope I understand it's right.
Yeah.
It's not the girl have a low standards, it's the man. Like, the
What do you
top
mean?
models, the woman, like all women what I saw around myself, they're beautiful. They smart. They care about the family. They really nice, really good girls. But the man, like who was dating with these girls, oh my God, it looks like um, it's something. But like it's really not about the low standard. It's about the man was in my like, vision. They was
Okay.
need to work harder to like
Oh, the guy has to step up.
yeah, a lot. Because the woman they starting to making the money, they starting to educate themselves, they it's all about the woman what I saw around myself. Maybe it's because I'm like that. It's sarcasm. Anyway, but the woman what I saw, they was beautiful, smart, educated, how успешные?
Successful.
Successful. Yeah. And sometimes I was thinking it's so hard to find a man for them, to find a man who was be on this like, good enough for her. So that's why sometimes you was choosing the guy who was really like not in your type and not your level. And this guy started to thinking he was king and start to was finding in other girls. I had this experience. Like I was starting to dating with a guy who was really not my type. I was thinking like, oh my God, but he was nice. He was a good guy, right? He was like very
I'm sorry,
kind.
Ilona. I'm gonna put a pause on this, and we'll come back to you. I want to get Chris's opinion on this while it's a bit more
Okay,
hot.
okay.
Chris, what's your opinion on how Ilona said that guys need to step it up?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, why are women banging dudes that aren't where they're at, right? Like, women are like, oh, guys aren't this. Okay, like, don't have sex with them. The hell, like, find a dude that you think is acceptable, right? But usually, like, what it is, right, is the guys who are acceptable, their standards are also very high, right? And what they're looking for in women is not an equal. They're looking for someone that complements their life, right? Like, they're an expert salesman and they want to start a business. They don't want to start a business with another expert salesman, right? They want to start a business with someone that can handle the marketing, right? So like men are not looking for this. Typically, men that are trying to start a family that are successful are not looking for a woman that's like out there crushing it, making money, takes what she wants. Like men are looking for something that complements them if that's what they're doing too, right? So I think a lot of the sentiment from women about why are all men losers now is that the men who aren't losers aren't looking for women that are looking for high caliber men, right? Like that high caliber of men. They're looking for like a regular woman that when he's got a long day, he can come home and she's got food on the table rather than she's coming home and she's coming home late too and he's got to go get takeout or whatever it might be.
That totally makes sense. I think when in the video specifically, a lot of the things that she mentioned about the guys are like that he's covered in tattoos, as that being like he's this like super low guy because he's covered in tattoos. But it's like what she's really describing is more. It's not like a guy who's not doing anything with his life. What she's describing is all these more like typical like bad boy type of traits. And she's calling that low standards. So I'm curious what all you girls who here, like raise your hand, thinks that a guy who was a bully in school growing up is a red flag. You think it's a red flag, Shital? The other girls, no. Do you think it's a green flag that if he was a bully in school? Anastasia, you raised your hand there, but I'm not sure which one you meant.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag.
It's a red flag?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I think
yeah, Eleonora?
Yeah, I think everybody's different. I think we don't have to charge like to say if the person, like, I don't know, had something in the past that it's gonna continue in the future. We all change every, like, if there's important things, we have to meet our
Okay.
friends, our people around every 5 years.
Yeah,
But
I
let's
agree.
say
I agree.
let's say
Because
he's a bully now then. Like he's just always a bully. Or we're talking about
no,
when you were in school and you're in school with this guy and he's a bully.
no, I agree with Eleonora. If the person took time to change some of his habits, like it can work. But if he
My
didn't,
past doesn't define me, Spencer.
yeah,
Yeah. So this is really interesting because it's like being a bully is like, or how these girls are describing, or this girl was describing about this guy having tattoos. It's like these are all these red flags. Especially, I just asked you all, is being a bully a red flag? And most of you said yes. But interestingly, if we look at data, if we look at studies, there's been a study done that looked at number of sexual partners for people who were bullies in school or people who got bullied in school. And what do you think was found? Men who were bullies in school had more sexual partners. So even though women are calling these things red flags, they're still rewarding it with sex. Why do you think that
Because it's
is?
not an actual red flag.
Can I add on? I believe the woman that is describing, she's just seeing a picture and she's just describing the physical traits. She hasn't really talked to that guy or been on a date with him. Maybe he's a good talker. Maybe
Totally.
he's a great communicator. So we can't really judge based on just physical attributes. Maybe the girls that went on date with him saw something else in him. And being a bully, sometimes people, what they are and what they show themselves is a different thing. Sometimes bully people are really good communicator and they can charm a girl. Charming a girl or wooing a girl is also a talent, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, before we move on, like having a father and listening to your father solves basically all of what the T app is trying to solve, right? It's like that the post that woman was describing, that video, is like a man who has a daughter and the daughter's talking to this guy, face tattoos, whatever it is, right? The father's like, no, don't get in bed with this guy. What are you talking about, right? So it's like peak fatherless behavior on that app. Like, stop asking what other women that this guy ran through, like, think about this guy. Like, go ask your dad before you get ran through. God, man, kills me. Like, father's stamp of approval should be on every guy you talk to before you get in bed with him. Like, that's going to solve most women's relationship problems.
You think a dad's going to approve you, a girl going to have an affair with her CEO?
Oh, God help us.
Everyone here saw the Coldplay concert affair?
yep.
Well, yeah. What do you girls think of that situation? Eleonora, what are your thoughts?
I don't even know how to comment it. It's really interesting situation. Like, I have nothing to say right now about it. But it's fun. Like, it's fun and it's sad at the same time.
I think coming back to being like gender specific, it shouldn't be like that, because most of the posts I feel like were concentrated on the guy and like that he is losing the job and everything, and not too many people talk that the woman was also engaged and like married. So yeah, I think it shouldn't be the same as the app. It shouldn't be gender specific, but I don't know how it's gonna work like in a healthy way. But
Totally.
this situation shouldn't be also gender specific too.
Yeah, all the talk is about him being married, and she's also married. She's in the exact same position as him. Like, they're both married in relationships and having an affair with each other. But all the talk is about him.
She's the head of HR. Aren't you supposed to prevent that?
Yeah,
As the head of
He's more
HR?
yeah.
successful.
If
You're
anyone in
supposed
the
to stop
company
the
is
CEO
supposed
from banging half the company.
anyone in the company who's supposed to be dealing with this is the head of HR. So maybe did he pick the right person to do that with? If you want someone on your side for having a relationship in the company, the head of HR is the one to pick.
I
Who-
believe most of the affairs are between CEO and HR only. I've seen that in multiple companies. Like
Really?
in the companies that my friends are, I've heard there's always news of HR and CEO spending time together separately, even though both of them are in a committed relationship somewhere else.
I mean, probably because the CEO is the highest paying guy. He has all the power in that company. He is the status figure, and HR usually has women working in HR. So there's just going to be more women in that field. But I had a question I was going to ask, and Anastasia, you already started leading into this. Who do you girls think was hurt more by that situation? Anastasia, do you want to start us off?
I to be honest, I don't know. I feel like it's equally, but probably women care more. Like the wife of the CEO, probably the most was who hurt in this situation, because it also went public, and she had to address that too.
Do you think she doesn't know
Okay.
that?
Who knows? I don't know if she knew. Maybe they were sneaky.
I think she know that she has another woman. You know, the girl always feel this, I think. And another point, in this.
Wait, you think they all knew and none of them are actually upset about this?
Yeah.
They're actually all just swingers?
No, she upset because everybody's like because it's gonna be on the public. But I'm pretty sure she was new. He has another woman.
Yeah, I feel like the people who were loyal in this situation, they're hurt the most because, like, they spend time in the relationship, they put effort in the relationship all these years. So
Okay.
yeah.
But first you mentioned the wife of the CEO. What about the husband of the HR head?
Yeah, I
What
changed
about
my
him?
opinion. I was like first, thinking about myself more. But yeah, I feel like most
Why don't we
just
think about this
loyal
guy?
people. Yeah, for him, I'm also like care too. Like that's why I said like after that, all the loyal people in this relationships were hurt the most. But
You think he's
maybe
gonna divorce her
we-
right away?
I hope so. I would.
On the relationship between them. Maybe they're like not together for so long. Maybe they're like living in the different houses, and like we have no idea about, like we can just judge and discuss about it, but there is like no specific like points of it. If there is anyone who's saying like who saw this madame with her husband walking, and then we see the like the concert, then we're gonna say like, yeah, of course, like it's a poor guy. Maybe they're like, maybe he were cheating on her and she were don't know what to do and find this guy. Maybe this guy, like his wife is cheating on him, and right now he's doing like just to make her like.
Yeah, of course, everyone are different. Some people are staying in a relationship after like cheating, but I don't know. To me personally, no, it's no.
Acceptable, yeah.
If this guy has any self-respect, he's leaving the relationship immediately. But I have a feeling he's actually going to stay in this because there's a lot of guys out there who are actually cucks.
Yeah, this is what's interesting, right? So the wife of the CEO, like if she stays with her man through this, that makes her a good woman, right? The husband of the HR rep, if he stays with his wife through this, that makes him a cuck. And I think that's totally acceptable and absolutely true.
I don't think so. To staying with this guy, it makes her. I just no.
What do you think?
No, I 100% no. If she's gonna stay with this guy, it means she's like, why people are like keeping the relationship where the other partner doesn't respect them.
Right. She has the house. She has the cars. She has the kids. She's provided for. She's at home.
The main purpose why everybody around the world afraid to break up and go there by themselves, because they're afraid to be alone. Done. It's simple as that. Some people are afraid to just be alone with themselves and just listen themselves. You know, they're afraid to how I'm gonna do there. What am I what like la la la, you know?
God, you ask most married men, and all they want is a weekend alone, right?
Yeah, but like after the weekends alone, they want to come back to their busy lives because without the partner,
They want to come back to their busy lives. They don't want to come back to their woman.
Yeah, they don't want to come back to their headache at home. They're like, God, can we just have
Yep.
quiet?
They're coming back to their jobs to make some money.
I think then it's like not a good relationships because I think partners are usually wants to spend time with each other. Okay, I need the support here.
Oh boy.
I believe if men is staying in still in a relationship, like the HR husband, I think so that he's a really great man too. Like he's trying to save even after her wife made a huge mistake that is like a public thing. It would take a huge amount of courage to actually make something work.
Reminds me of
almost
a post that I
impossible.
just saw yesterday, which it was a girl saying more men need to be like this, and it was a guy texting her asking her what she's doing, and she said, "I'm on a date." Now, like, meanwhile, this guy is from Tinder or something like that. He's asking her out, and she's like, "I'm on a date." And he's like, "Well, let me know when you're off. Like, no, let me know when you're done the date." She's like, "More men should be like this." Do you agree with that?
No. No. I have a question, guys. What about you? What's your relationship status? Are you guys?
We'll get into that at the end.
Okay.
We'll let you ask us some questions at the end.
Yeah.
So Spence, that picture, because I think you sent that in one of our chats, where it's a guy texting a girl, "What are you doing?" And then the girl responds, "I'm on a date." And the guy basically, responds back to that, "Let me know when you're done. I'll come pick you up." So a lot of people see, like, even the girl that reposted this, right? She's seeing this as like a softer man that is looking doesn't care that she's fielding other options. But what I think in reality, right, this guy who's texting her is the alpha seed that's got her in the friends with benefits zone, and she's looking for a beta provider. And he's like, "Let me know when you're done with your date with the loser. I'll come pick you up and we'll go to my place." Right? I'm pretty that's what I think it is.
I feel the same.
He's actually waiting for her to leave the restaurant, take the leftovers, not bang this dude that she's on a date on, go to his house instead, give him the leftovers, and then fuck him.
Yeah, like every guy that gets women has like had a chick that he didn't want to commit to, but she still wanted to see him, to have sex. And at the same time, she's going and looking for a guy that will commit because he won't. And like this has happened to a lot of guys, right? So she goes on the date with some loser. He drops her off at home. The fuck buddy comes over, eats the leftovers, bangs her, and leaves.
Have any of you girls ever gone to another guy's place afterwards or hung out with another guy after a date? I mean, if the first guy sucks, like...
Why did you go on a date with him at first place? I don't know. Why do you go to a date with the loser or someone you don't like?
What if it's a first date, though? Like, how do you know?
Well, yeah, maybe.
You've never been on a date before that you thought the guy sucked?
I've been, but I don't know. I don't go just like to the next guy just right after that with leftovers. I don't know. To me, it's weird. And I feel like, to me, another guy should have, I don't know if it's called like self-respect or something. Why not to meet another day? Like, why you should just go and like ban her after that? And like, I don't know.
I saw a few videos recently of girls giving advice to other girls for dating advice. And they were saying that women should date multiple men, that they should be seeing multiple men. Do you agree with that?
At the same time?
At the same time, yeah, dating.
I don't know. If
have so much free time.
Yeah, if first dates, maybe like until you understand who is you're more comfortable with or who you like more, maybe. But like after multiple dates and just like seeing constantly a couple of people, no.
Okay. Do Do you think that does anything bad? Do you think like it harms the girl at all by dating multiple men?
I think it can.
Danny, why do you think that?
Dating or have a relationship?
But dating, I
You
think, would fuck up a woman's head too, because I think that women are emotional beings, and if they're pouring in emotion into multiple men, ultimately they're going to get burnt out, tired out. They're gonna go fucking crazy. Whereas, like, you know, it's not even necessarily like, even if they were being honest, like, yeah, I'm seeing multiple men, like all of it, it's still gonna burn them out, because women have to give emotionally. And that emotional like piece, if you're giving it to multiple people, you're going to run yourself dry.
The rest of the girls agree with that?
Yeah. It might be a case, I don't know, I've been into a point of my life when, you know, after a very bad breakup and you're young, you know, you're just like trying to fill those hole inside with people. That may be like for some time like that. It's not healthy, but still. But yeah, I agree that it's just you're wasting your energy to multiple people. You're attaching to a person, and like, I don't know how it works for girls if they see multiple people at the same time.
Do you think that it's the same way for guys? Do you think if guys are seeing multiple girls that they're investing too much emotionally, it's going to hurt them?
Depending on the guy, actually.
Depending on the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't care about emotions or anything, yeah, it shouldn't harm him.
If he's a simp,
I think
yeah.
I think guys are also emotional. I think they're also giving some information to the other girls, and they're also having those feelings inside when they're, for example, to the other girl, like, you know, there's one girl who's listening him more, and he were saying how hard his day were, and there's another girl where she's like supporting him in the other way, and that's why he's going there. The other girl give him the sexual like parts, that's why he's feeling like an alpha, you know, he's going there to give the emotions of that. I think the guys, they're also emotional, like, as I feel. So
He's got one girl to bang. He's got one girl to cook him lasagna. He's got one girl that massages back.
Everything
perfect.
Chris, what are your thoughts about men or women dating multiple people?
I think it's totally fine for men to have a roster. I think it's absolutely unacceptable for women to have a roster. Women are almost incapable. Like 99% of women in 99% of circumstances are incapable of having a sexual relationship without also becoming like usually very emotionally invested. So to try to do that like with a bunch of people at the same time, like it wrecks women. It's also the same idea like that it's not good. Like it's good for men after a breakup to go jump into bed with someone, with a woman, right? It's not good for women after a breakup to go jump in bed with another man, right? Like the solution for men is to see like, no, actually like you are good. Like this is positive feedback, right? That another woman gives you attention. Like there's nothing wrong with you. You're okay. For women, it's basically like, I just got my heart broken. Like, let me go see how quickly I can do it again. Like, that's crazy, right? It makes no sense that that'd be a good solution following that. So, yeah, like men and women view each other very differently. I think men can love more than one woman. There's lots of cultures all throughout human history where men do have multiple wives. And I think that like the way men show their love to women is much more similar to how they show love to their children, right? Like they want to protect, they want to provide, they want to lead them, they want to guide them. And then like men's desire for sex is like very attached from that, very detached from that, right? Whereas like women, like they show love to their men similarly to how they show love to their children, but like the men that they're being loved by, they like attach their sexual desire to that, right? Like it's not a separate thing. It's at the same time. Yeah, hopefully I didn't get too off tangent on that, but
Okay, the question. So you were saying, for example, the guy who having multiple girls, like wives. First wife, so he's in love with her. That's his first love. Then he getting another woman. Do you think he still have the same feeling to the woman, the first wife? And then after he's getting the third one, do you feel like he still have a feelings to the first wife and the second wife? I think there is no
So
feelings anymore.
you think like when he has one wife and he gets a second one that he's going to lose feelings for the first one to some extent?
I feel so, yeah.
So, and you know, this is my opinion. If a man's married, he has a wife, and like he wants to have more women, and most men do want more women. They want sexual variety, and his first wife allows him to, and maybe even assists him in finding another wife. He will love her way more. Like she's giving him something that most women won't give him, right? That he wants.
Okay. For example, he's getting the second wife. For example, then the second wife also allowed him to have another wife because she don't have any choice, right?
Yeah,
So
she wants to get the love that wife number one has. You know, she sees wife number one allowed him and helped him find me, and he loves her even more for that. So she's like, wait, I got to do this too. Let's get a third one.
So, and you think he respect the second wife at the same way as the first wife?
Yeah, I mean, so it's like this, right? Like the way that men love is they protect, provide, lead, and guide, right? Like that's how men express their love. So like if a man has 3 children, he can do that for all of his children and like pretty much love them the same, right? Like it's very similar. I think there is like a cap, right? Like you only have so many hours in a day. So once you start getting past 2, 3 like women, like you start to reach your max bandwidth, right? That you have time for. So yeah, like 20 wives, I don't think so. Like he's gonna forget a couple of their names, right? It's not it's not feasible, but 2 or 3, I think. And this is not like, it sounds crazy nowadays, right? Because it's not normal nowadays. In some places in the world, it still is normal nowadays. But like this is how humans have been for most of human history. So like 100, 200, 1,000 years ago, saying like, no, men can't have 2 wives, they can't love 2 women, that would have sounded crazy back then, right? It's like we've convinced ourselves that this is a crazy idea.
I understand what you're saying. And like, I believe, I don't know how to say correctly this word, that we're all selfish. And we are thinking, like the girls, women, we are thinking that if the guy start being with us, he's the only us. Nobody able to touch him, look at him. It's already our, I would say, I know it's a bad word, property. So nobody able to take that. That's why
right, but women like when a man has other options and the attention of women, right? Like you'd rather date a man that has a boat and has girls on his boat sometimes, right? Other women, you'd rather date him than a guy who lives with his parents and is a virgin, right?
Honestly, maybe it's a weird, but if there is you give the bad this situation, like living with the parents, virgin, and everything like that. How old is he there?
Right. So here's the point, right? Like the things that a man must become to have attention from other women are the same things that make you attracted to that man.
Okay, I believe in spiritual world. I believe in everything that if you see
soul tie.
Yes, if you see
horoscopes.
Not horoscopes. That's not the thing. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just playing with you.
At least we're not leaving the date because he's a Gemini.
I understand. Oh no, it's a good sign. Okay. So, and if you understand this is your person, like whatever he do, like even he's drinking or he living with the parents, with I don't know, virgin or everything, you start talking. First of all, talking. If something is clicking, it doesn't matter what he's doing. It doesn't matter, virgin, like having 1 year, like no eyes, whatever it is. Like, first of all, you just understand the personality, because at the end of our lives, our beauty is gone. We're gonna stay only with the person and their souls, like just with personality. So,
Yeah, and I think that's great advice for women, right? But women don't do those things, right? Like, I think it's great advice for women. Don't look at how much money he has. Don't look at how tall he is. Don't look at how jacked he is, right? How in shape he is. Look at who he is as a person, because then he's actually going to love you and stay with you for a long time and not do a bunch of shit that you don't like. But women don't follow that advice, right?
Men follow this, right? They are looking for the ugly woman who was not accessible, who was not smart, who don't care about their beauty, just care about the soul. Come on.
She's gone. She disappears and she comes back swinging.
Literally drive by in a car.
No, I'm not driving.
So Eleanor, if you can convince women to date less attractive men, like, send me how you're doing it, because I don't see it happening. Right? Like, they're still gonna choose the tall guy who's toxic with the boat that gives them the butterflies that won't commit to them over the virgin that lives in his parents' basement and works at Burger King. Even if guy number 2 is the nicest guy and is going to take care of her as best he can for the rest of his life, he's never going to talk to other women, they'll still choose the more attractive guy over him, even if that comes with a bunch of problems for her. If you can make women do otherwise,
I think it depends what girl is looking for. What's your goal? Like creating a family, or just like dating around? Like maybe she had her time before to date like bad guys and all that, and then she understood that it's not working for her, and she needs to start a family with someone who is more reliable.
We call this the wall.
She had all her fun in her 20s. She doesn't want to have fun anymore. She has to date with focus.
No, I think we're all looking for the person who's gonna support us in the bad moments, who's gonna give us like everything, all like sort of emotions. None of the person are perfect. Some of gonna be like, down on I don't know, for any crazy adventures, but in like at home gonna be boring as fuck. Some of them gonna be like super, I don't know, intelligent, gives the like all information, but the other way, like there is gonna be some parts of down. Even us, like we can be like we can perfectly like make money, but at home we don't know how to cook. All of us have some ups and downs. Just like we have to find out the perfect match, which we're like we're absolutely happy with, and that's it, and go from there.
But also, like with having multiple wives, multiple women, it's up to everyone what they like. But also, don't you think that before it was more normal because women had like less rights and were like more dependent, and they couldn't choose that much? I don't know. Like now they're more independent and they're like having their standards, and like I want to have only one and I'm very territorial, and that's it. I don't know.
Women are still just as dependent on men as through all of human history, right? Like if all men disappeared tomorrow, all women would die within a week. Keeping the lights on, keeping the water running. Oh, we're killing her. Keeping the lights on, keeping the water running, growing food, bringing it to supermarkets. Like men do 90% plus of all of these jobs, keeping the heat on in the winter, right? The entire infrastructure of society is built and maintained by men, and men can barely handle keeping it running, right? When you take someone that has 1/3 the upper body strength and you try to have them down in a crawl space moving a 250-pound radiator to cut the pipes to clear the blockage, like women cannot do these things. And it's fine that women can't do these things, but the way in which that women are now dependent on men, instead of being dependent on your husband, you go work for someone who's usually a man, or at least the backing investment behind the company is men, even like a female-led company. And then you come home and you've now slaved away for someone else all day, and you're going to take your hard-earned money and you're going to give it to men to do the things your husband would do for you, right? So like women are still dependent on men and serving them like they have been for all of human history. It's just being outsourced to men that don't give a fuck about them now.
Alona, I know you want to respond to that.
I have nothing to respond. In my opinion, alpha men never say about this, even saying about this. Alpha man can understand how he's strong, how he's smart, how he is perfect, and all women in the world was die for the 1 week if not a man. But alpha man never say that because he was confident enough. That doesn't say that. He was
I'm insecure.
like, oh, I have a lot of things to say, but
No, I think it's something that, like, obviously it doesn't need to be something that is like mean, right? Like this, like what I'm saying is not like a dig at women, right? I think women would benefit from, like, instead of serving a corporation and then like to work to get money, like I think they would be happier more often than not, like being at home, being a mother, being able to lean into their femininity, like having a man that loves them deeply, that they want to serve and support and cherish. Like I think
and
that's
next day he
better
gonna start to
for
cheating
a
on
lot of
her
women.
because he was boring.
Well, stepping out and cheating are two different things. So
Mm.
get some exercise, that's cool, but like don't
I
don't
agree.
go gamble away the family's money, right?
I agree with you and Alona because at the same time, when the girl start to be at home, start cooking, making every time when he's coming home with a nice dinner, la la la. After a while, after like a half year, every day, yes, it's a different meal, but every day he's coming home and he's like, "My love, what's new?" And she's like, "Oh, today my chicken, like, I don't know, was burned. I don't know, the vegetables was bad, the grocery." So her circle of interest very short. Grocery, kitchen, bad. Grocery, kitchen, bad. The guy, he's coming home, it's boring. He wants to also feeling that, like, inside the feeling that his girl able to go somewhere, somebody able to
Yep.
see her. That's why what gives the between the like guys like spice, if the guy, for example, he's gonna sit at home and the girl gonna go to work all the time, he's gonna prepare food, just food. Imagine you're living, you're just sitting at home, you got a MILF who's working for you, she's making a lot of money, you're just sitting at home making food, I don't know, going to the grocery, of course, do some massages for yourself, like, self care, and then, like, make good sex. And after a while, I'm going home, and again, you just coming like, I don't know, I did the bed nails. Yes, nothing else, and there is nothing to, because the main point of the relationships, good relationships, that both of you supposed to support each other and gives the ideas, for your future. But if your circle is just a circle of between like five places, it's gonna be not interesting. The person gonna be not interesting for the other one, and
Right, but
there's
why does the
Can I
woman?
say something? Just I was be quiet for the long time.
Let's hear it.
But you're saying you before you're talking about the girl don't choosing the guy who was be just nice and kind if he doesn't have money and all of this stuff, right? It's who's
Yes,
this? Who say this?
yes.
Хорошо. Okay. The point was when you are starting to dating with that type of the guy who was just a kind and nice, but have nothing, like no money, no ambitious, no anything, but he was nice and he loves you so much. When you start to date with this type of the guy and he doesn't start to growing, like to building the base for you and for a family. And taking that point, what you're saying, like a girl must stay at home, cook, and care about the man. How did you survive? How did you survive? For which monies? Where you buy the
Right,
grocery? For
so this nice guy with no ambition, he gives you the ick, right? You're like kind of like, ugh, no.
okay. I think
but
you didn't understand my point fully. So, if you fell in love with the guy who don't have money, but I'm pretty sure if you fell in love with the guy, he definitely have an ambition. because the girls cannot fall in love with the guy who don't have an ambition. We potentially inside of us. We will
Okay,
have
the guy who has like a 30 years old, but he has an ambition, but has nothing. It's the point,
If
right? He 30 years old, for example, like or 25 years old. He has a lot of ambitions, and you in love about he talking about the future, what he want to give it to you in the future. But he was 30
But
years old, and he still have nothing. It's the point, right? It's the
It's not a
question.
point
at that
about
point, you
money.
can't trust it because he's been doing this for like 30 years and he can't figure it out. So what are the odds that he's going to figure it out in the next
I've
20?
never been in a situation, what are you saying? Because I've never dated the guy who's like 30 years old. But uh, if the guy love the girl motivates him. Even there is a very, very famous quote for the wife of George Bush, I think. She was sitting like her and the president, they went to the gas station. And there's a guy who put the gas into the car. And George, he was like, "Oh my God, look, that's the guy who, first of all, like, it's me and this guy who put the gas. We were like trying to date with you, and you choose me. Look, I'm a president, and you could choose him." And she's like, "Yes, if I didn't choose you, he would be a president." So the girl, she
You
motivates.
put the responsibility about the future to the woman in this point, right? But we dating like a person with a person, and I didn't trust like a woman can change the man. I didn't trust about this. He can start to pretend to because he wanna fuck you, right? And he can pretend to anybody like he can be a for your eyes because you say like, oh, I like this type of the guys. He can pretend for the half year, 3 months just to have a sex with you. And it's a lot of guys like this. They pretend they are nice, they're good, they can care, and they have a lot of ambitions. But my ex-boyfriend say never trust the man who was like just talk, and he was can support you by the words and everything like this, but it's just words. It's nothing.
This isn't the Thailand red light district ladyboy club proposal guy, is it?
Because just check, he was starting dating with you. He doesn't wait when you are losing the weight, when you are get your nails become to be a very beautiful and smart. He take you as you are in this moment, young,
Yeah,
beautiful, smart.
the
And
one.
you are like a woman, you need to wait. You need to wait, you need to support, you need to care, you need to be a Bush wives to let this guy growing up because of you. You put too much responsibility for the woman, but we are need to um, dating with with a person.
You need to see the person. You can understand the personality after one date. You already understand.
No, no, no.
If
It's
that
you can understand the personality after one date, but not everybody likes you. You know, somebody was can dating with a guy for the 1 year. Somebody was get the credit in the bank to help their own guy, and he was like give the money for the guy, and he was like running. It's not about the woman stupid, you know. It's about a man was not good. Some point
the
in that
problem, what are you saying? The problem of that, when you're sitting on the date, you don't like, if for example he's saying like, "Oh, I'm planning to buy, like, I don't know, the things, la 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 la," and you just, the problem, the girls, when he said something, they start to imagine their lives in the future, but they're in the moment with this guy in on a date. So he was saying you should see what he have done, and according to
So
that,
we again coming back
Pay
about the
attention
money.
to his actions, not his words.
So I
So
gotta interrupt y'all and ask. Do the two of you even know what you're having a conversation about?
Yeah,
No idea. I'm sorry. Like,
Oh, I
there's two different
No
conversations
clue.
going on here, and neither
I
one
have
knows
no
what the other
clue
one's
what the two
talking
of you
about.
are talking to each other about. I cannot. But Eleanor, so what you were saying, like a woman that's at home, she has a small circle. Like
And
she should have children to take care of too, right? Otherwise, like she shouldn't be staying at home. Like a stay-at-home girlfriend, a stay-at-home wife. Like this doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like a stay-at-home mother makes sense to me, but she should have a circle around her, right? other women that are raising children, you know, people from whatever, you go to church or you go to some events in the community, right? So like she does have things to do. It's just they're focused around raising the children and the household, right? So that her man can then go, like he has the bandwidth to do the protecting and the providing and the leading and the guiding, right? Like it's very hard for a man to have the bandwidth to go out and crush it, to be a good leader, to be a good father, to be a mentor to his woman, if like he has to do a bunch of stuff that she could be doing to help him out, right? Like we don't have the bandwidth for all of this as a single person.
We're coming up on time,
Is that a
pretty
question?
close. So, do you girls have any questions that you'd like to ask to us?
What's your opinion about the perfect relationships? How do you see in your vision, how you see how's the girl supposed to sit at home, or you supposed to have multiple girls and it's okay, or like what's your vision on it as a man's opinion, because we're all girls.
I think relationships without the intent to have children are doomed to fail. I think like when the hard things come, you don't have something important enough to worth suffering through those things for, right? And who knows, like you look at lesbian relationships and divorce rates, people without children, and they all point to this idea that like there needs to be a leader. And like, I think it should always be the man. Like men are built to suffer. Like that's how we evolved, right? So like a relationship should be a man that leads and a woman that supports him, complements his life, right? Takes care of the things that are in his blind spot as he's out chasing excellence, like making sure the kids, you know, taken care of at home and whatever. And like, if you're not going to have children, I think that you should accept that most likely this is going to be a season of my life with this person rather than the rest of my life with this person.
I like that way of saying it, as it's a season a lot, because like honestly a lot does change, especially when you're talking about like a man who's building up his life when he's early 20s and he doesn't have much going for him. He can't provide the same as when he's in his 30s and he's actually in his 30s or 40s and he's actually built a business. He's making a lot of money now. He has a lot of connections. So like the guy's going to be looking for a lot of different things, and it doesn't line up as well with like women are going to be often looking for different things depending on how old they are as well. Like a lot of women around 30 start looking for children very quickly.
Right. So it's like this, right? Like if you're in a relationship and you're not going to have children, like what is the purpose, right? The purpose of it is to be happy with each other, right? Probably eventually you're not going to be that happy with each other anymore, right? So like if you have children, the purpose is no longer to find a person that makes you happy. It's like to find a person to have a family with. So like you will suffer through the unhappiness when it comes, because it is coming, for the sake of your family. So it's like when there's an issue in a relationship where the core, like the foundation of it is being happy, when there's an issue with that makes you unhappy, why are you in a relationship anymore, right? Like just go find someone you'd be happier with. But when you have children, like it's more important than your happiness. That's when you're going to actually be willing to suffer to make a relationship worth, and it'll be worth it to do so.
No, Chris, women should date multiple men and have all their fun in their 20s and then pick the right one in their 30s. Feminism.
Hey, if they're going to do that, they got to be willing to share that guy for the rest of their life.
How are you guys feeling like when you go on a date? The first thing that you understand that's a girl who's gonna take care of the house, or the huge red flag of the girls? What's the huge flag of the girls when you go on a date?
What's the biggest red flag on a date?
You go, Spence.
The biggest red flag?
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest red flag is like her history. Like, is she promiscuous? And a lot of that stuff is, you can tell like ahead of time, or when like as you get to know her. It's not necessarily like a thing that happens on a date. Also, like, can she even respect men? Because there's a lot of girls out there, especially girls who don't have a good father figure, who usually end up leaning towards becoming strong feminists, can't even respect men for anything. So there's no way she's going to let you lead a relationship. And I strongly believe that a man has to be leading the relationship.
I agree.
Chris?
Oh God. I mean, we have the chapter. You know, if you're watching and you haven't read Rich's book, get on his email list. Get the free chapter on 20 red flags. There's so many red flags.
To you.
What is the worst? Yeah, maybe she like will openly talk about explicit sexual experiences with other men on a first date. Like, it shows like such a lack of calibration towards like core femininity, right? That she not only doesn't have the shame where she's like not going to talk about this, period, but she like also doesn't understand that a man has an issue with her talking about that and is going to view her as less attractive. It's like, it's so like, and there's a lot of things you're going to see before the first date that are red flags, right? So like over conversation, like what can come up that's a huge red flag. That bad relationship with her father, it's horrible. Like, a woman must respect her father. Like, she's going to treat her man the way she treats her dad, right?
To be real, though, the biggest red flag in a girl is if she likes Coldplay.
Okay, if you're gonna go on a date, do you care how many partners she had before? Do
Yeah,
you
we're
care
20
about it?
fucking questions here from you.
Holy, yeah. Eleanor has taken everyone's
Do we
question.
care?
Well, you
Absolutely.
said at the end of the conversation,
Yeah.
do you guys have any questions? Yes, I do have.
Eleanor's got a whole notepad.
Yeah, the less sexual partners she has, the better.
Yeah.
And any man that says otherwise has been captured by the mind virus or is a cuck. One
What's
of the two.
the amount? How many is a lot for you?
God, 5 is a ton.
5 is a lot.
5 is a ton.
I'm seeing the comments start with zeros now. Sheetal, I have not heard from you in like ages. Do you have a question for us?
Oh, you said that you'll talk about your status at the end of the chat. So I'm curious, what about both of you? Are you guys
Oh yeah,
single?
I'm out. I'm out in these streets fighting my way
Spencer's
through.
in
It's hard out
streets,
here.
yeah. You should check out his Instagram. He's out there. I'm not married, and I will never get married. And I don't have children yet, but I will probably in a year or two.
Okay, makes sense.
You don't want to get married and you don't want to have any kids?
No, I will have children. I just don't have any yet that I know about.
Spencer, what about you?
I hope to God I don't have kids.
No, I mean, like, are you also planning to get married and all that stuff?
I do definitely want to have kids. I definitely won't be getting married, at least by like the state, like legal. I don't believe in the way that we have marriage set up here. The legal system here has just screwed it over. But definitely do plan on having kids in the future.
You say
Anastasia,
the legal system.
Yep.
Elaborate.
Marriage is like awful here. Divorce, though, how it just totally favors women, incentivizes women to divorce. It's not a good setup. It's not something that's actually going to push towards keeping the relationship going and keeping it healthy and making a good fit for a kid to be raised in.
I mean, just think the contract text, right, is like till death do us part. And like that can be violated at any time for any reason. It doesn't matter. Like, why would you sign that contract? And like signing it like socially in front of your family and friends, and maybe if you're religious at your religious organization, like that's different than you sign it with the state, right? You sign it with the government, and then they get to decide what happens to your assets, not you. Like, it's insane.
Okay, the last question, and I'm not gonna ask you anything anymore.
Oh boy.
Before this question, I have to ask you, what's your age?
I'm 33.
33. You?
24.
Okay. What's the age for you when the girls is already like are not the how to say? You looking for the girl who's younger than you, or are you okay to date the girl who's older than you?
I don't discriminate.
Okay. Okay.
No, obviously there's a window of fertility, right, for women.
Mhm.
Over a certain age, you start having more complications, less likelihood for her to get pregnant. Typically, that like peak fertility is like around 22 to 25. And as soon as you start getting like 32-ish is when most of the data shows that like it starts, like the issues start coming. They get worse at 35, even worse at 40. So like if a man wants to have 10 children, and if he wants to have 10 children with only one woman, like he should probably be looking to have children with a woman who is like 22 or 23, right? And even then, it's still going to be back to back to back to back to back, right? If a man wants 2 kids, he's got kind of a different range that he can look for. If a man wants 10 kids and has a lovely woman in his life who's 28, maybe he can have 3 women in his life that are 28 and have 10 kids that way, right? There's a lot of ways to solve the problem.
I agree.
Anastasia, do you have any questions for us? We didn't get around to you.
I had a follow-up question on like red flags and the girl who's not respecting her father. What if she, like, her father is not the man to respect? What, like, she doesn't choose what family she's coming from? And what if she took time to, like, work on it and separate, from those and, like, looking forward in her future?
Yeah. So it's not about her and her father. It's more about, does she have a male role model in her life that enables her to respect men? If she has no male role model in her life, she doesn't respect men, that's the red flag. If her dad wasn't around and her dad was a piece of shit and her uncle is someone that she looked up to, that's fine. She has a good male role model in her life. That's all good.
But there is supposed to be a guy to whom she's followed, right?
Sorry?
Like there is supposed to be a guy who's like older, the aunt or the father or whatever. That's who's supposed to give that energy.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be a younger guy.
No, of course.
Asking your younger brother for dating advice.
What other questions you ladies got before we wrap it up? And not Eleonora. Sorry.
What about if in relationship both people, they're working and they're having, for example, business or something, they have to be busy and they have a child? What do you think about stay-at-home dad, like to change the roles sometimes if the girl needs to go and like do her stuff too?
Do you want, would you want it? So like one of you has to work, right? So
yeah, but
like,
what if she can't put, for example, she has business and she can't put it on pause, like she still needs to be out for some time? It depends.
Like
it depends on what
right?
It depends on what like period of time you're in your life. For example, if both are doing business can be up and down, and maybe she's making more money at some point and she needs to be busy, like go out, or like can she stay at home and like cook too, like a little bit?
So like, do you want to be with a man that like you have to pick up the slack on his end to provide? Like he can't handle it, right? Like you want a guy that is going to be able to allow you to stay home. If he's not a good enough man to do so, like how can you like really ever love him? Like you need to love a man to be able to trust his leadership, trust that he's going to protect you, right? Like you're going out into the world and struggling while he stays home and does something that, like I think is easier and that you should be doing. So I think that's going to build a lot of resentment over time in the relationship, and he's going to become less attractive to you over time, and then it's going to blow the thing up.
Maybe, but what if you are like in a relationship for many years and you just having like, for example, second kid, and it's just a point of time when he's like not doing the best with his business or something? Like I can wait. Like I can also provide.
Yeah, you'll give him a couple of years to get it sorted, right?
My dad
Yeah.
had
So he's got
cancer
a run.
growing
He's got a
up.
runway, but that plane's got to take off eventually. Otherwise, the whole thing's going to
Yeah.
crash and burn.
It's not going to seem that bad.
For
If
sure,
you've
it's
been
just
in
for
the
some period
relationship for a
time.
long time and this suddenly happens like way into the relationship, it's like, okay, like he's going to pull back, right? Like you
Yeah,
can
for sure.
have some trust that he's going to do that. But if it keeps going on where he's not pulling back and like you're still making more than him, he's staying home to take care of the kid, you're going to realize that you're now like more successful than he is. And what we've seen with women, when a woman becomes more successful, she doesn't want a guy who's less successful. She still wants men more successful than her. Her standards just go up.
Yeah, I agree. I
Women need to
just
be led.
I meant more like for a period of time, just and then he can come back and of course like fulfill his ambitions and continue like doing something. But yeah, just like for some period of time, if something happens. Of course, like
I mean,
if he's staying at home for a year, 2 years, and just like sitting there and like, yeah, I'm gonna lose the interest for sure. But it's just for some time, like, you know.
Even just for some time, though, I think it'll still fuck up a man because my dad was home with us when he had cancer and my mom was working, and it fucked him up. He needed to be the provider. And being out of his element and not being able to provide sent him downward hard.
Yeah, you're right.
Cool. Chris, do we have any, well, first, ladies, I just want to say thank you for coming on. Great show. Enjoyed talking with you all. Really fun. And you are welcome on any other time you'd like. Just send me a DM. We'll bring you on the show anytime you want. Chris, do you have anything to say to the viewers?
Nope. Like I plugged in the beginning, the forum ticket that Rich and Mock are giving away in SOU, School of Unplugging. The link is probably in the start of the live chat. It'll be, if you're watching the video, it'll be in the description. You know, this ticket, like the value is like $4,000 basically. And what you get is you get to come to Toronto and go to a networking event with like 100+ other unplugged guys that are crushing it. So me and Spence were both at the forum last year. That was actually, what was that, like over a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And like it totally changed both of our lives. Like just being in a better room, like you not only get inspiration from the other guys there, but it's also like this weight that's going to weigh on you. Like I must do better. Like I can be as good as these guys, right? It's like the carrot and the stick at the same time for you to level up. So
you want to see how this changes lives? Join in the SOU and send me a DM, and I'll send you my before and after pictures. The picture of me at the forum last year versus now. The event changes lives, so come out to it. And it's in Toronto. Who knows? Maybe all these girls will be here for the after party or something.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing that's going to be wild too.
Well, thanks for coming to the show. Really enjoyed having you girls on, and see you guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed that podcast, make sure you visit my website at richcooper.ca to learn more about my courses, my book, The Unplugged Alpha, community, or booking me for private coaching. Also, if you are a Canadian with $15,000 or more of credit card debt and what you are doing right now isn't paying off the balances, then visit totaldebtfreedom.ca and hit get a free quote to see if you qualify to settle your credit card debt for less than you owe today over the next 48 months. Make sure you check out the top pinned comment on YouTube for all the links mentioned during the show. Peace.